connects with me too. At a certain point, I did deny my mom because she was a little chubby. So there is like, I'll only show a nice picture of her to my friends because I didn't want to show the uncool mom. And I'm doing that with everybody I'm connected with, if it is my culture. And I don't know why. Subconsciously, I don't know why I deny the people I love. And like we were talking about you having similar issue, like you felt you were not cool enough. And I do that to me for some reason. When I do culturally, when I dress up, I wouldn't show myself to my friends that way.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I find it difficult to accept that part of me. So I disown that part of me.
Yeah.
And it's not anybody judge me. Like actually in America, interestingly, everybody loves me, even if I am culturally showing up with Indian heritage. So it's not about the looks, it's not about the culture. It's a piece in me I am not willing to accept.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's coming in. Like you also are having anxiety about that. And I feel it's not anxiety for me, it's fear. I don't want to accept that piece of me because I'm very afraid of that part. And interestingly, my teacher asked us to come towards see, I hear people differently. He called us all to go for a seminar in December. So I assumed I'm going there for him. And I was surprised to know that he really said one thing, meant one thing. Meaning that he said it's important for you to come, but the way I heard was it is important for him, but he said it was important for me to come. And I couldn't accept that. Like, I could say, like, why are you making me pay money to go see you when it's important for me? Why cannot I do it in my time?
Right.
So then I decided to bring all the gifts I had for him. And I had like a lot of books, jewelry, everything I made, everything I grew up and was a piece of me.
Yeah.
I gave it to him. Come to find out, everything was a barrier. The book, they said, oh, you're not allowed to give gifts. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to go approach him. And interestingly, when I went near him, he yelled out, Ma, like almost like he was scared of me that I'm approaching him. It shocked me because I was under the impression till then that he accepted me for who he was. So I felt, is it a pretense is he doing? Like pretending that he likes me? But then when you go near, he shows fear, just like me. So that confused me. The second thing is like, the jewelry, when I gave it to him, I said I even wrote to him in the I think in one of the chat or something on the Facebook, and he liked it. So people usually said when he likes it, it means he blessed it. So when I posted about him blessing it, his own staff denied it, and they challenged me. Come to find out, he kicked me out because he felt I was living a delusion. So like it confuses me when they say one thing and they mean one thing.
Yeah.
And then they say it's all your illusion. So I'm like saying, so if it is all my illusion, why cannot I do it in my time? Why I need to be afraid of this guy?
Right.
And still he makes no effort to have me as an inner circle, but expects me to behave like an inner circle. So just like, confuses me. And so that's kind of like the same space you're holding too. I'm seeing, like, you're saying, nobody told you that you're ugly.
No.
But for some reason, you're holding that space. And that's the same thing. Nobody told me I'm an outsider, but I'm holding the space of outsider. And I don't know where it's coming from. Why did I choose to be an outsider? Yes. I have no idea. Like, at what point I got kicked out of my own home, I don't know. But it's like almost like I feel lost. And I feel like even though I'm trying very, very hard to come back home. People are saying, like, see, even with my husband, right? We got married. He says, "Oh, I will never kick you out." But anytime I break his rule, there is a consequence. Like, the consequence would also involve me being kicked out. So there is really no guarantee in life. Like, even with my teacher, he says, if you change your teacher, it's spiritual suicide. You'll be either dying or there is a retribution. So I'm hearing one thing, that there is no consequence, but at the same time, I'm also shown there is consequence. And that's the same with my husband. He's saying, "Oh, you're totally loved unconditionally, but if you behave a certain way, you're going to be kicked out. I'm going to divorce you. I'm like, there's something, I'm going to protect my family from you." That's the space creates fear in me. Because even though they say that they are truly loving me as God would, I am seeing in action, it's actually a false statement they are making. And when people are not acting their word, I don't trust them.
Me too. Yes.
And that's exact space I'm holding, like you.
Yes.
So what is the resolution?
I don't know.
The resolution is I chose to never let anybody dictate whether they are going to give me a chance. I am going to raise myself. There is a story. Actually, I'm going to retrieve the story. There is a monkey god in India. His name is Hanuman. And he was friends with another avatar. His name is Ram. He was the best friend with everybody he played. He was the enlightenment within. He'll show the light within. Did I show you that expansion picture where the lady was broken, the light was showing through?
No.
A sculpture of this girl. I'll show you. That's called expansion. This is this lady girl the artist did a piece and it was perfect.
Yes.
She couldn't accept the perfection because everything was perfect. So she shattered it. She threw it on the floor. And then when it fell, she made a mold of all the pieces that floated away. And then she gathered it and it had like a scar everywhere.
Yes.
But she put a light in and it's called expansion. So the light is coming out through these cracks.
I like that.
And she said that made it so perfect for her.
I like that.
And so Ram is actually that, because it's the light within. It's not whether you're inside together or not. He sees what is your potential and he raises them to next level. And when he believes in them, people start believing in themselves. So Hanuman was a monkey god and he had lost the power to fly. He had the ability to fly initially. And when Ram comes across him, he knew he could fly. He says, "Hey, do you know that you can fly?" And he says, "I didn't know that." So he says, "I want you to carry this message for me." Ram's wife was, captured by another demon. So Hanuman is supposed to go deliver this news. So he goes to deliver this news and he comes across this demon king who has captured his Ram's wife. And they refuse to give him a seat because they want to insult him, right? So Hanuman decides to hold his own seat by swirling his tail. And he makes himself the tallest position possible and he sits on top. So essentially calls it shot. And that's the space I'm holding now, because I feel I don't need people to dictate to me who I need to be. Yeah. So when I went, actually I posted on my teacher's website how he said that I made this jewel for him, actually. Nityananda coin, I called it. Because anything I do, he said to honor it through him. So I decided to call it Nityananda coin. So somebody in his inner circle said, "Did he give you permission?" And he initially liked it when I said, "I want to make Nityananda coin." So I assumed, which means he gave me his word. But then he sided with his inner disciple and he asked me to untag him. And I felt I don't need him to untag. He can untag himself. It's so easy. You just go in and say untag.
That's right.
but he refused to do it. Like, I'm like saying, why is he not untagging himself? So I'm like thinking, either is he playing me or is he testing me? He sent again another word. And I said, why is he trying to pretend I hold the power over him? He can untag himself. Like, so it confused me. In turn, he banned me from his forum. And not only that, for my personal opinion, he banned me running his workshops. And that created so much pain in me. And I was saying, as a teacher, like, I understand him trying to teach me a lesson, but why is he punishing the other people who's trying to come to the workshop here? And that creates so much pain. And I wrote to him, I don't want to be afraid of you. He writes back saying, it's all an illusion you're creating. So he says one thing. This same thing happened with my husband. I went and asked him, Keith, why do you intimidate me? He says, I have no power to intimidate you. So I'm saying, and then he says, I don't have power to hurt you. So I say, Keith, I am very happy before you come into the room. But you walk into the room, we have an interchange, and I cry. And even though it is my illusion, there is a peace that happens when we dialogue that makes me feel heard. So I can either walk away from you forever, so I don't have the pain, or keep engaged. But he told me he doesn't have the power, but he called the police. And I sat in the police station. They told me if I knock on my door, it's considered battery. So even though he says he doesn't have the power to hurt me, he is capable of ruining everything for me, even though he doesn't understand it. I wrote this book, Boring Way to Be Happy with a Dysfunctional Family. You know what I learned? Actually, I'm going to show this book. Is there is something called one-way boundary. And these people create one-way boundary for us. The one-way boundary has no negotiation. So even though they say they don't have the power to hurt us, we give them the power because we want to be engaged with them. So we have a choice of walking away from them permanently and not take the pain, or being engaged and take the pain. And that's the only way you can liberate yourself. Isn't that so weird?
It is, but it's true.
So what is the answer? The answer is how important it is to be engaged in that crowd. You need to decide, because that's what is causing social anxiety for you. That is what is causing me this illusion of being in pain. So one thing I did, actually, I tried to run my own workshop this 2 days weekend. It's a completion workshop. Nobody showed up, but I cleaned up my space and stuff. And I decided, even if nobody shows up, I'm going to run my Sangha, no matter what, because that nobody can deny me. And even if by chance I'm fictitiously alone, let me be happy, because I feel I have done my 100% running. I cannot do it. You can only do your best. You cannot run anymore. But one thing I do know is it is creating pain for me. And there is one piece of truth, that is, I am a little bit ashamed of my Indian heritage. And I don't know why. I think it's because I had to do a lot of work to be accepted there. So I feel personally, maybe there is a piece in me, Indian, I cannot accept yet. And knowing that, do I really want to be engaged in that space, or do I give myself time out and walk away? So I don't know. Why is it? What is one thing you can do to make you feel beautiful on the inside?
Well, the thing is, it's so strange because, and I don't like to say it because I don't like arrogance. I think it's an ugly trait, to be honest. But I know that I am beautiful. I know I am.
That's not arrogance. That's confidence.
I feel like it is. My father always says, "You're so beautiful. You look just like your Nana." My mom now is saying how beautiful I am. Now that I've grown. I'm 31. I've grown into my looks. I've grown into my nose. My nose used to be this weirdest shape. It had like a ball on it. I've just grown into my looks, and I know that on the outside and on the inside, I'm beautiful. But I also know that I am very hard to get along with sometimes. I'm very realistic with most people. I do not sugarcoat anything. I feel like that's a waste of time with some people, and the people I come across tend to be they push against it. They don't want to hear me because they know that I'm telling the utmost truth when it comes to my brother, when it comes to my sister. And so they push away from me.
That's the exact space I also hold.
But they push away from me, and then that makes me feel not ugly, but
not loving, not compassionate.
Exactly. I feel like, oh, God, you're so mean. Why can't you just take a breath and be nice? So I'm learning to do that. I just spoke to my sister yesterday and the day before, and both times I stopped. I said, Mickey, I'm just trying to be honest.
That's the exact space I'm holding. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I was asking my husband, I said, why is it so hard, Keith, that I actually, any group I come across, I always create problem first. It's because I don't want to accept their rules, because I know it is not right. Because by accepting their rule, I'm going to affect others. Like I was in High Point, I was a medical director. They told me I'm not allowed to use laser for pain management. The laser is one thing, non-drug I can use so that they don't need narcotics. And this guy was in severe strep throat infection. Mm. And I disobeyed them and I used it anyway. And I felt I cannot see him struggle with pain. And they fired me for doing that. But what happens is by settling with certain truth, you are indirectly affecting another person. And that's exactly what you're doing too.
Yeah.
Because by settling, you're letting another person hurting themselves.
Yes, exactly.
And I feel I don't want to be part of that.
No.
So one of the things my husband says is, when you get spiritually higher and higher, it will be lonelier and lonelier. And he says you have to accept it. The more higher you hold your truth, the more lonelier it will get. And he says, unfortunately, you have to be in that space. You cannot let yourself slip up, because you cannot. I cannot live with myself with lying inside, even if it is correct, even if it pleases another person to hear it. I cannot live with myself.
No.
I cannot go to bed. So you know what? You and me, we are doing good.
Yes.
Finally, I realize. No need to feel sad.
That's
you know, I can
just
play with my plants.
Yes.
You know, I can just talk to the birds and
I just try and
be the monkey I need to be.
Yes.
With the tallest seat.
Yes.
Thanks. You healed me in some ways. And I hope you heard me the same way. Don't worry, you know, if by chance you are socially phobic, you don't need that crowd.
Right.
Walk, create your own drumming and your own crowd.
Yes.
So figure out like another
As
space.
I get older, I learn to just accept it. Because I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm a young woman. And, you know, I have to act such. So if people don't like me for who I am, then I guess I don't need them. And that is where the loneliness comes
Actually, in Lion King, right? He says, when the world turns it back on you, turn your back on the world.
That's right.
That's my point.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much.
Have a good week.